Hello.
Good afternoon. Daytime here at Shared Cockpits. A little bit different one today. So we were actually recording this because we've had a few technical issues on the live stream, which we're just hoping to get over. We're still using some open source products, which although they are brilliant, due to the nature of them, they are a little bit buggy. So
Indeed.
we're back at Vienna. D22 as you can see, and we've got the Orbex scenery, which is absolutely gorgeous. We're going to go back to Innsbruck today after a bit of a failed approach yesterday. That was my fault. I'm piloting command today, so I get to try my hand at maybe a 08 loop back approach. So let's see what happens. Cold and dark as we always are. Rich, do you want to connect the stairway and we'll get some
Absolutely.
power, and then we'll set up the aircraft, push back, and off we go.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Right.
Let's do it.
I'm just going to fire up the fly pad on the left hand side here, just so we can connect the stairway. As Matt said, get the doors open. Right. Passenger door open. Door forward is open. Stairway's coming on.
Happy days. Fantastic.
There we go. Right. I will get some power to the aircraft.
Yes, please.
So battery 1, battery 2. Going to go external power for now so we can sort out the ideas, give that the most time to align, and then we will start the APU. There we go. So what's going to happen, Matt's going to program the FMC as pilot in command, and I will go around and do all the bits around him as we can get off the ground.
Nice and smoothly.
Nice and smoothly.
Okay, so if I go to the fly pad, I can import our sim brief, which we've already done. We know our weights and measures. So today, let's get some fuel as well. So total fuel today is 5565. So if I stick that in the fly pad, 5565.
So we should be defueling first, yeah?
That's the idea.
9.5 tons on board, so we're going to come down to 5.5. What I'm just going to do, I'm just going to grab some checklists here I've got, just to make sure we're all good to go.
Squared away. I'm just going to do the FMC to get that program because that takes the longest. So click the init button, init request, it will put in our flight plan from SimBrief. So we're going from Vienna to Innsbruck. If we go to the next page, we'll see our zero fuel weight, which we can automatically plonk in there, and the block fuel, which is about these messages. Fuel planning block 2.8, that's about right. And what we can do then is if we go to our flight plan, select our departure from Innsbruck. So today we're going at a runway 34, which gives us a departure of where is it? Solid 1 Delta departure. Obviously ATC will confirm this, but at the moment it's pretty quiet on the ground. Well, we may not get any ATC. Let's see. It's the joys of VATSIM.
We have one station online at the moment, and then nothing at Innsbruck, but we hope that may change en route.
Happy days.
So as you can see in the middle screen here, Matt's kicked off the refueling, so we've got currently 8.4 tons going down to 5.5. Again, as said yesterday, we'll just keep an eye on that number just so it doesn't go through the number we need. Showing refueling and IRS align in 7 minutes. Right, I will grab some ATIS.
Yes, please.
Low ATIS is online. Cross controller info. So nice thing about VATSIM, if the ATIS is online, there's currently a bug at the moment which doesn't read it out to you. So what you can do is actually going onto your VATSIM client, if you right click on the ATIS channel, request controller info, it'll print it all on the screen for you. Right, runway 34 departure, as Matt said.
Condition level 110, temperature 23, nice and warm today, 1016 on the QNH.
1016, information alpha.
Information alpha.
So what I'll do, I will call up low approach. They may serve us, they may not. I don't know, but we'll give it a go. Just shimmy over to the other side of the aircraft so I can use the flight pad. Go for low approach. 134.675. And then we'll shimmy back.
Let's do it.
Vienna approach, Austrian 9 Tango Delta, stand D22 with information alpha. Type A320, request IFR to Innsbruck, please.
Austrian 9 Tango Delta, Wiener Radar Servus, Alpha correct, cleared Innsbruck, so will 1 Charlie departure, 5,000 feet, squawk 1,000.
Which departure was that?
I couldn't hear him, sorry.
Austrian 9 Tango Delta, could you repeat the departure, please? We have 5,000 feet, squawk 1,000.
Austrian 9 Tango Delta, so will 1 Charlie departure.
Which one was that? There we go, he sent it to us in text. Sovel 1 Charlie departure, thanks for sending it through, Austrian 9 Tango Delta.
I'm connected to Keyboard mode, so I can't see any of these texts at the moment. So, Rich, I'll let you read that out.
No problem at all. So we've got runway 34 on the Sovel, 1 Charlie departure. We've got an initial altitude of 5,000 feet and we're squawking 1,000.
Okay.
Now I'll pop the squawk code in. Matt's already set the initial altitude 5,000 feet there, and all the altimeters of 1016. Thank you, sir.
Not a problem. 4 minutes to the IRS to align. You've done the squawk, so if we do a couple of pre-flight checklists while the aircraft is defueling.
Right, I have them here.
Okay, on pilot in command, so if I read through...
Austrian 1461, let's go 4607, taxi holding point runway 29 via Mike.
ATC ground power unit.
Is on, and we're disconnected because we've now got APU.
Fantastic, external power is disconnected. Parking brake.
Is set.
Nav and logo lights.
Nav and logo is on.
APU master.
APU master's on.
And APU start because the APU
started.
is on. APU bleed.
On.
Via Mike and we're
Fantastic. We've done the FMC setup. We've done the init. We've done the rad nav. We've done the preferences. Barrow reference.
Is set 1016 my side.
Flight director.
Is on.
Flight director is on my side as well. Nav display is set.
As required.
Range scale
Is 10.
10 miles, apologies. Initial altitude is
5,000 feet.
Doors, we're currently loading, so probably open I'd say, otherwise people are going to struggle to get on board.
If they start banging, we'll let them in, that's fine.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Ground services?
Are disconnected at the moment.
Okie dokie.
Right, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to flick on the emergency lights. I'm going to arm them and put there's no smoking and seatbelt signs on, ready to go. We'll
Thank
put
you
the
very much.
oxygen crew supply on.
That's great.
And we will we'll put all the fuel pumps on once we finish refueling before we start the engines.
Sounds good to me. Thank you very much, Rich.
Lovely.
2 minutes to the RS. We have the right amount of fuel on board, 5.56.
I'll just bring up some charts on the screen so we can see what we are doing.
That would be fantastic.
I can't because it's decided to disconnect itself, so must be a bug. So I've so Navigraph released a nice little plug-in which pops the Navigraph charts onto the menu bar at the top of the screen, which you can bring up charts on the screen. Every time I go into it at the moment, I re-authenticate and next time it disconnects me, so we'll work that out for the next one.
That's the joy of live broadcast, isn't it? That's why we're recording this. We can always chop that bit out, Rich.
We could. I won't, but we people need to know this, Matthew. People need to know the bugs we encounter.
They do, they do. Okay, right, got 1 minute left for the IRS.
Roger.
So,
Have a look
once
out.
the IRS is all aligned, we'll finish the checklist. I'm going to call the tug if you're happy.
I'm very happy. Lovely there on Microsoft Flight Simulator, the APU exhaust heat phase.
Absolutely
That's
beautiful.
very nice. come back inside. So as you're connecting the tug, I will get us some taxi clearance. Also, at least push back and start clearance. That'd be a good start, wouldn't it?
Push back and start. Yeah, let's do a bit of that.
Let's go with
first.
that. Vienna approach, Austrian 9 Tango Delta, stand D22. Request push and start, please.
Austrian 9 Tango Delta, push and start approved.
Push and start approved, Austrian 9 Tango Delta, thanks.
Okay, so everything's green.
Everything's green my side.
Ready to push and start.
Ready to push and start, please.
Ready to push and start. If you would like to release parking brake and push us back, please. I have the engines.
Parking brake is off. And we are pushing.
1461 Alpha 3 approach, wind calm, runway 29 at least for takeoff.
Did you turn the fuel pumps on, Rich?
If you asked me now, I will say yes.
Fantastic.
There we go.
We have checklists for this stuff.
There we go, we're pushing back now, just on the outside view, so I can see where we need to start our turn.
That works. Can you just ensure the beacon lights on, please?
Beacon lights are on.
2's coming up.
2's coming up. So if you see outside, we can just see we're coming to the taxiway. So in a second I'm going to start the turn. About now. Which should bring us round roughly onto the centre line.
Fingers crossed.
So with Flight Simulator at the moment, there's no sort of pushback plugins as there would be with X-Plane, things like that. So it is a very much a manual process of trial and error. Oh, this looks promising.
I think you nearly nailed that one there, Rich.
It's promising. I think we might be slightly off, but I'm okay with that.
Close enough.
Alright. There we go. Pushback is ending.
Engine 2 is available, starting 1.
Parking brake is on. Tug is disconnected.
Austrian 5 Hotel Mike established.
Austrian 5 Hotel Mike, wind calm, runway 34 clear to land.
34 clear to land, Austrian 5 Hotel Mike. Is a long rollout maybe Bravo 4 approved?
Of course.
Okay.
Engine 1 is coming up. Lovely stuff.
Engine 1 is coming out. I have engine controls.
Your control.
Chrono is started.
It's quite a bright day today. I'm just going to turn the screens up just so I can see them.
That's a very good point, actually. I'll do the same.
Alright, I'm just going to go through the checklist for the engine startups just to make sure we are in the right place. So beacon light is on. GPU disconnected. External power. Both engines are available, so I'm going to turn the APU off.
Thank you.
Engine mode is ignition start. Engine 2 master on. Engine 1 master on. So engine mode back to normal, please.
Normal.
Thank you. So before taxi checklist, and then we'll get some taxi clearance.
Okay, window hit.
Is auto.
Fantastic. APU bleed.
Is off.
Anti-ice.
Is not required.
Not required. It's 23 degrees today. I think we should be okay. APU master.
Is off.
Squawk code.
Is set.
Transponder.
Is auto.
Okay, auto brakes.
Is set to max.
Fantastic. Speed brake.
Is armed.
And flaps.
Austrian 1461, radar contact, climb flight level 240.
Fantastic. Anti-skid is on. Okay, if we get some taxi clearance, then please.
Absolutely. Vienna approach, Austrian 9 Tango Delta, request taxi please.
Austrian 9 Tango Delta, taxi order point runway 29 via Mike.
Oh, he's changed the runway on us.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, runway 29 now.
Ah,
do you want to update that? Taxi to runway 29 via Mike, Austrian 9 Tango Delta, thanks. So,
29.
Makes our lives easier because 29 is right next to us.
It's good to me.
So, before taxi checklist?
I would do. struggling to change the flight plan at the moment, Rich. So
No problem.
please bear with me.
Please hold caller.
Yep, no, okay, we're all good. We're all good.
Roger, roger.
So, fantastic. Right, we're ready to taxi.
So
Off you go, I have
taxi
control.
You have control, taxi lights on, runway turn off on, and landing lights have been extended.
Parking brake off.
Parking brake is off.
What's our taxi clearance, Rich?
So we are going to go straight down here to the end and turn left, and then straight up, and then runway 29's on the right as we did yesterday.
Super job. If you can pin the cabin, please, and
I would
run
love
the
to.
takeoff checklist.
So we have takeoff config test is normal, and the cabin's going to check itself out with a bit of luck.
No blue.
Right, Terrence, please prepare for takeoff.
There we go. Cabin sorted, no blue. Fuel on board,
No
5.5 tons. We are good to go, sir.
Fantastic, great news.
So we'll just get the items ready for the takeoff. It is a lovely scenery, this. We can see all our Austrian friends there on the left-hand side.
Absolutely beautiful. Austrian Virtual, what a fantastic VA so far. It's only our second flight with them.
Very good.
Impressive.
5 Hotel Mike, vacated on
Nice
Lima.
liveries as well. Do you like
5
the
Hotel
Austrian
Mike,
livery?
taxi to gate Foxtrot 31
Good
via Lima and
selection of
taxi lane
routes actually as
37.
well.
Very good.
routes,
Lima lane 37,
selection
Fox
of
31,
aircraft,
Austrian
so,
5 Hotel Mike.
definitely want to recommend.
Very good in-depth documentation as well. I like a VA that has good in-depth documentation. So if you aren't part of a VA is a brilliant idea for immersing yourself into flight sim.
Definitely, it's, the immersive factor there is to keep it. You know, you can fly real world routes. You can build up expertise, and you can build up your confidence. It's fantastic.
So this right-hand turning, please, Matthew.
Not a problem, Richard.
Yeah, the idea of a virtual airline is allow you to basically fly for a virtual company. They will generally give you a piece of software, a plug-in that links to your simulator so they can track your flight.
Austrian 7, correction, Austrian 9 Tango Delta, wind calm, runway
Okay,
29,
we're
clear for
holding at
takeoff.
29.
Clear for takeoff 29, Austrian 9 Tango Delta, thanks for your help.
Clear takeoff.
Clear takeoff, let me just...
When you're set, full takeoff checklist. Strobe.
Strobe is on.
Nose light.
On.
Brakes are tested. Brakes are released.
Austrian
TAO
1461,
RA.
climb flight level 300.
Flight level 300, 1461.
Right, I'm good to go.
Amir's going to line us up because it'll be a bit awkward if we try to take off like that. Serves me right for looking at a checklist when I'm trying to turn onto the runway. A bit embarrassing.
We've all been there, Matthew. We've all been there.
Okay, I have control.
You have control.
Good afternoon, Turkish 61, Yankee Tango, flight level 24 to descend,
SRS
information,
and
Alpha.
runway.
Turkish 61, Yankee Tango, wind radar, servos, radar contact information Alpha, expect ILS approach runway 340 and flight level 140.
ILS 340, 140, Turkish 61, Yankee Tango.
Then approach
Yeah,
base
V1.
is with the
V1, rotate.
hotel descending inbound and Natics.
Visa 89 Lima Hotel, wind radar, servos, radar contact information Alpha, expect ILS approach runway 34, proceed direct Whiskey 971.
We tend to fly, fly out to roughly around the transition altitude. So that could be up to maybe 6,000 or 8,000 in some places.
Austrian 9 Tango
Keep an
Delta,
eye
radar
on
contact,
your
climb
visual
flight level
displays.
240.
They'll tell you roughly where
Up
you
to
should be.
240, Austrian 9 Tango Delta, thanks.
And yeah, just keep an eye on your displays. Your
The
aircraft's the boss.
89 Lima Hotel, descend altitude 8,000 feet, QNH
Knows
101.
more about where it is than you are.
8,000 feet by QNH 1016 with the 89 at Lima Hotel.
Going to hand fly this now to about 8,000 feet. And then hand it over to the autopilot.
Turkish
And
61
then
Yankee
rather than you
Tango,
watch
direct Whiskey
autopilot fly the plane, let's
971.
go to a little intermission while we prep for the approach. And we'll be back just before top of descent. How's that sound, Rich?
That sounds perfect. So leave a climb
With
and
89 Lima
flaps
Hotel,
coming up.
report indicated airspeed.
Flaps up, please.
310 knots.
Lovely, brilliant.
Take a 61 Yankee
Super
Tango,
duper.
speed 300
There's a
knots or
fix.
less.
Just, off to the left a little.
300 or less, Turkish 6-1 Yankee Tango.
Austrian 1461 för ATC monitoring come 1-2.8 bye.
Fabian Con 22A, over.
Okay, going to 6,000. Autopilot on, please.
Autopilot 1.
Thank you. And auto throttle is on.
We've been cleared up to 24,000, so I'm going to pull standard.
No worries.
There we go. Lovely. Right, what we'll do, we'll go to an intermission and we'll
Yep.
speak to you shortly.
See you up there in a minute.
See you shortly. go.
Hi guys, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Well, we are on our way to Rattenberg. We need to be 9,500 feet, which you can see we're going to be plenty of time because we're still 13 miles out. Height is key here. So as you can see outside, it's very, very mountainous. And as we said before in our last video, before we had the technical issues, that we need to be fully configured before we get to Adwig. And when we get to Adwig, we're going gear down at 9,500 feet. Sounds a bit strange, but that is what we have to do in order to get down safely. We've got no ATC today, so what we're going to be doing is doing the circle to land approach runway 08.
We're going to announce just on Unicom on VATSIM, just our intentions, just so there's a couple of departures, so don't get in their way.
We're also going to make sure our QNH is all set, so that's all in, so that's 1016. And here we are, we're coming up to Rattenberg, 8 miles out. We're going to hang a left at Adwig, and by the time we get to Adwig, we're going to drop our speed down to about 180, and then we'll manage that all the way in then.
The speed's coming down. Was that you just activating approach mode, was it?
Nope, I haven't touched approach mode.
That's fine, it's coming down.
It's okay, I'm going to set to 180.
Roger. Once we hit the 192 mark, I'll bring flaps 1 out at the request of Matthew.
No worries, thank you. So, speed is 180, and that's blue on the screen. We're also going to go to track FPA mode, and that's going to let us descend at 3.8 feet per minute.
Flaps 1, you ready?
Flaps 1 now. Beat me to it.
Just trying to see the nose come up. Just wanted to catch it.
No worries, I'm just going to pull the altimeter back out.
Roger.
Sorry, push back in. 1016.
1016, my side.
Just let the plane drop back down.
Nicely set at 180.
Thank you. And then when we get to Adwig, we're going to go flaps 3, gear down, and then we're just going to cruise on down, loop round, pop on the runway.
Simple as that.
Happy days, just like that.
Love it.
Just like that.
I love the confidence. And that is why you are the captain.
How hard is it?
You inspire, Matthew.
How hard is it? The fact real pilots have to be properly qualified to fly this approach. It takes years of practice. And there's me, an individual who hasn't even got a pilot's license, saying, how hard can it be? Well,
this is what YouTube's for, Matthew. This is... We've watched one YouTube video, we're now experts, okay?
I'm sure we're going to find out. Okay, so OEV's just popped in there. So we're 27 miles out. When we get to 19 miles, we're going to hit the down button on the FPA. And we're going to go down at 3.8.
Roger that.
So, apologies if I'm a bit quiet for the rest of this, guys. There's a lot going on in the cockpit, and if we need to get this down in one piece, it's all about tracking your distance and knowing where you are in relation to the airport. So we're 25 miles out now. I'm not too worried until we get to Adwig.
You can see just down on the right hand side there we've got the valley, which the airport is just where my mouse is on the screen, just back there. So we're going to come over these hills here, which should bring us straight down towards OEV. So we're going to start the descent just as we get to the top of those hills, which, as Matt said, is the reason we need to be at 9,500 feet.
Okay, altitude set to 3,300, which is the approach altitude.
Checked, yeah. Bring the charts up so I can see what I'm doing. Lovely, okay, so I can see it's heading towards Adwig on the charts.
Yeah.
Nice little feature of the Navigraph charts, it does overlay your position on the charts, so you can, just more of a sanity check. Right, turning at Adwig.
Then at Adwig, localizer established yet.
It's just coming in. Oh, we can see the localizer just coming in down on the main display there.
Yep.
There we go.
So in the 19s now, so what we're going to do is as soon as we get to 19 DME, we're going to head down on a heading of 3.8.
There we go.
Down we go.
Lovely.
Now, the Innsbruck charts have got real handy reference, so you know if you're on path, because if you check the DME, you should know when you get to 17 DME, you are 8,700 feet.
Oh, I'm just bringing the speed back to get fully configured.
Yep, if we get fully configured and go gear down, please, Rich.
No problem at all. I'll just get the speed brakes out just to give us a helping hand.
No worries. Yeah, we're about 300 feet high at the moment.
Speed brake should help with that as well. Flaps 2. I'm going to bring the gear out.
Please. Flaps 3, please, Rich.
And flaps 3.
And if you can announce our intention, please, on
Love
Unicorn.
to. Innsbruck traffic, Austria 9 Tango Delta is on the localizer for the LOC DME 08 approach. We are 14 miles from OEV.
Okay, all the lights are on, and
3 greens.
Three
Flaps
greens,
full coming out.
fully configured. Auto brake medium, please.
Auto brake medium.
13
Speed brake back
DME.
in. Speed brake armed. We're going to bring out all the lights are on, as you said. Lovely.
Going to increase our descent profile slightly. We're just a little bit too high at the moment. Just got to say, you've got to keep an eye on that one.
So as Matt said, OEV is key on this approach, and what we're looking for to make the turn is 4.2 miles from OEV. So we can see that on the display in the little magenta down here. We're currently 11.8 miles away. Once we get to 4.2 miles, Matt's going to turn to the left, and then we are going to start the hand flying segment.
Yes. When we get to 4.2, we're going to turn left, heading 230.
Roger that. I'll set 230 on the heading in a second.
Thank you.
Ready?
Should be at 5.9, we're at 6.2, so still a little bit high. I'm just going to bring the nose down quite a bit more. Just want to try and nail that descent.
We've got a bit of wind, we've got a
bit of a tailwind going
just a
on
bit
there.
of a tailwind, which is probably just pushing us to the left slightly, which is why we're slightly offset.
957. Yeah, we've gained 200 feet. So
Lovely.
one main thing you can't do, even if you want to, at Innsbruck, is you should not fly the localizer. Do not fly the ILS, because it's not very accurate. Ground terrain is all over the place, and you just need to ensure that you're flying visually on the localizer, making sure you're taking your distances from the OEV DME as per the charts, making sure that you're in the right place where you should be. And then what you'll do is about 4 miles out, disconnect the autopilot. We'll leave ours a little bit later, because we want to make sure that we can get around on the circle to land, and then you hand fly it in from there.
Lovely.
2,500.
Alright, we're coming up to soon the important turn point at 4.2
yeah.
miles.
So if we can just stick a heading of 230 in, and what we'll do is we'll push the button in when we get to 4.2. So with the Airbus, you push the button in to give control to the aircraft, and you pull the button out to give control to the pilot or first officer.
So in this turn, we'll pull the button out to set it to the 230.
Correct.
Correct.
Can you just ping the cabin air for me, please, Rich?
I can indeed.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Okay, 4.5, 4, 3, and go.
Making the turn.
Thank you. And we're just going to fly towards the hill here on the left hand side, just keeping an eye on what's around us. We've got the ski jump there right in front of us. Beautiful bit of scenery. And then what we're going to do is we're going to circle to land. So we're going to fly this track at 230, and then we're going to heading 264 in about 3 miles. And then as soon as we get to 3.5 DME, which will be the other side of the runway, we will do a 30-degree bank turn around to the right at roughly 1,000 feet a minute, and then just plonk on the runway, just like that.
Just like that. Lovely bit of scenery here from Orbex. Absolutely stunning.
Lovely. Beautiful.
I can see we've got a couple of aircraft on the ground there.
We've also got someone on the way in by the looks of things. You just want to stick on the radio there, Rich?
Yeah. Innsbruck traffic, Austrian 9 Tango Delta. We are 2 miles from OEV, 3 miles from making the turn, runway 08 right.
And I'm just going to send him around to 264.
Roger that.
Oh, it's a bit bumpy.
Coming off the hills, isn't it? That air.
Yeah. Now it looks like we've actually got an aircraft coming right in towards us. Hopefully, he's about 3 miles away from us. We may have to go around. So the last chance we can make a go around decision is at 3.5 from DME.
Got the church just down in front of us here, or a church and another church in the distance.
So it's the church in the distance that we want to be worried about, because that's the one where we're going to make our turn at 3.5 DME.
Roger that. So the turn here is a slight descent in the turn as well, just to follow the landscape down. But once we turn, Matt's going to take manual control, make the right hand turn, and slowly descend over the scenery here. And we are going about 25 degrees of bank, so it's going to be quite a sharpish turn.
Oh, there's the other aircraft. I don't know what he's doing or where he's going. He's just stuck there, isn't he? In the air.
I can't see him.
Oh, he's just off to our right. 3.3, 3.4, 3.5. I have control.
You have control.
Slight downward trend.
We have very big stutters this end, but keep flying and this will catch up. There we go. Lovely.
And we have the runway in sight. Going to line up for the runway.
That's a lovely turn.
Thank you, Rich.
Right, landing gear down, 3 greens, flaps full. We are good to go.
Okay.
You can see 1 red, 3 whites.
Better than 3 reds and 1 white.
It is a good combination. I like it.
See any reds now, so just a little bit too high, just to throw the nose down a little bit. Just so we try and get 2 reds and 2 whites.
500.
Innsbruck is a very short airport, so just need to make sure that
400.
we're not going to float down the runway too much.
300. 200.
Like I'm doing here.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
That's a big bump in the runway there.